In this demonstration, we'll take a look at how to revert to the factory defaults for a Junos device. Now, I've already connected to my Junos router, and you can see here that I'm logged in as root to my New York router itself. Now, the first thing that I want to do in order to revert to factory defaults is I want to use my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the show command to display. So I got to go to configuration mode with the configure command first, then use my show command. And when I use the show command, you can see my configuration here. So I've got the host name assigned to New York R1. Domain name is glennyclark.com. I have a root authentication password, so there is a password for the root account. I have a login called Glenn here. That is a super user. So you can see I do have a little bit of configuration on this device. I've got a name server configured, so DNS server 192.168, 1.1. So I'm going to do a Control C to kind of break that output. And the next thing that I want to do is load the factory defaults. So to load the factory defaults, we can use the load factory default command. And when I hit enter, it's going to activate that factory default configuration. Now, if I use my show command, you'll notice that the settings are different now, right? So in my settings, I do have, I've lost the DNS setting that was there a few minutes ago. I've lost the router name. All those different settings have now been lost from the configuration itself. So now what I can do is I can do a commit to commit those changes. Now, typically what you would want to do is you'd also want to make sure that you assign a root authentication password as part of kind of the initial setup of the device. So after I load factory defaults, I want to do a set system root authentication plain text and then configure that root password. So I'm going to do password 1 as my password, and then I'll commit that. So I should have a password for the root account. So in this demonstration, you saw how to use the load factory default command to revert back to the factory defaults on a Junos device.